Folks, Kevin McCarthy has just proposed one of the most radical and dangerous bills that I think I have ever seen, because he intends to stick with it. It is so radical and insane that it has brought together people like, let me read you this tweet. It's from Bill Kristol. If you don't know who Bill Kristol is, he's a guy that appeared on Fox News daily for years. I mean, this guy is as far right as it gets. But he's quoting E.J. Dionne in a piece that E.J. Dionne did for the Washington Post and agreeing with him. I mean, that's how radical this bill is. It has literally got the left of the left and the right of the right singing the same tune. Let me read this to you. The president's position is reasonable, talking about President Biden. Enough Republicans, he says, should join with Democrats to raise the debt ceiling for spending that has already happened. We're going to talk about the debt ceiling here a little bit more in a minute. The cap, after all, was suspended 3 times when Trump was president without much fuss. That's a quote from E.J. Dionne posted by Bill Kristol on Twitter. It's just, it really is, you've got to take in for a second that is how radical this is. You've got those two people singing the same song. If you don't know what's going on, it's debt ceiling time. It has nothing to do with the budget. It has nothing to do with our spending. It's a law that was put in place years ago, and I would suggest to you, because it's one of the best explanations of the debt ceiling that I've ever seen. One of the other contributors to Meidas, politics girl, Lee McGowan, did a piece on the debt ceiling, what it is, how it came about, and why it just makes no sense today. And she's absolutely right on that, because here we are again. It's debt ceiling time, and the Republicans are using it in a way that, well, our forefathers never could have imagined it being used. They're blackmailing the country. They're blackmailing the country. They are not negotiating in good faith over legislation that they believe in, that they would like to come together with Democrats and pass. No. They're threatening to destroy our country if we don't give them our way. That's a terrorist, folks. That is a terrorist. Kevin McCarthy has proposed a bill to raise the debt ceiling that includes an across-the-board 22% cut in spending. Now, if you don't understand why that's so radical, let me just give you, it's caused people to put pen to paper together to explain to you exactly what that means. You know, this is from Allison Jane. She's under her Twitter handle Mueller, she wrote. Love her. If you're not following her, you need to give her a follow. She's amazing. Sat down, put pen to get paper together. A 22% cut to the VA looks like 81,000 Veterans Health Administration jobs cut. Reduces funding radically for rural telehealth. So, you know, all those right-wingers out there, those Republican voters, those veterans are getting screwed. Cuts 6,000 benefits jobs, increasing wait times for health care. Remember how hard we worked to get those wait times down? Yeah, this brings all that nightmare back immediately, instantly. Cuts $565 million for clinic construction. Yeah, talk about having to travel farther for health care. Talking about having longer wait times for health care. Just screwing the VA. And this is just the VA we're talking about, folks. Just the 22% cut to the VA. This is across the board to transportation, the FDA, healthcare. I'll talk more about the FDA here in a minute. Cuts 500 jobs from the cemetery service and delays the opening of 5 new facilities. Yeah, a lot of veterans don't have a lot of disposable income, especially in their later years. So funerals are expensive, and there are VA benefits to help with that are just going to evaporate. Cuts housing for 50,000 veterans, housing assistance for 50,000 veterans. You know, old folks that need care, just gone. Just gone. Cuts food assistance for veterans. Deep cuts to mental health care. I mean, really, folks, this is something that we have realized in late with the OxyContin disaster, the PTSD, folks coming home from Iraq and Afghanistan. The VA has been not fast enough, but actually working towards beefing up their health care for veterans that desperately need it. And this proposal from McCarthy just takes an axe to it. Just takes an axe to it. Just deep cuts to mental health care services. Eliminates job training for homeless veterans. Yeah. Veterans become homeless, folks. Veterans have high instances of drug addiction. All kinds of problems. And the government is working to help them out, to help them get into jobs, help them get off the street. And this is just a straight 22% across the board cut to the VA. I mean, just the entire VA budget just hacked off by 22%. And that's just the VA we're talking about. Then there's more to it. I mean, this is draconian. But worse, it cripples the economy. You know, taking tax money and putting it back into the economy is huge, folks. It is huge. And if you just slash that across the board, you're just kneecapping our own economy. It's insane. It's insane. I mean, it's so radical, it has the left and the right saying it's insane. The only people that are going along with it are the Marjorie Taylor Greens and the rest of these radicals that have taken over the Republican Party. And you know, folks, we need to talk. McCarthy is not a speaker. There's so many people on the right that I hear comparing this situation to John Boehner and Obama. John Boehner had control of his caucus. He had these radicals. He did, but he wasn't weak like McCarthy. He used to call them out. He called them the knuckleheads. You know, that's what he used to call them. He called them the knuckleheads. And you could negotiate with John Boehner in good faith. He didn't have good ideas, but that's how the sausage was made. And Obama sat down with the Speaker of the House, John Boehner, and they hammered out an agreement over the debt ceiling, which I think was wrong, folks, and I'll go into that in a minute. But at least they could work together, even if the outcome wasn't great. You can't even do that with Kevin McCarthy because you cannot trust him. He has no control over his caucus. Over and over again, they try to negotiate with these lunatics, and they end up not voting for what they agree on. You know, it's just useless. And folks, it's not just the VA. I mean, when was the last time you went and cooked yourself a nice medium rare steak and was afraid it was going to kill you? You were afraid of meat at your grocery store. Folks, that's the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. Meat and medicine, that's what they do. That's what they do. When's the last time you went to give your kid had a fever? You were scared the medicine that you were giving your kid was going to kill him. You know, things like that used to happen before the FDA. Before the government got involved. You know, all these righties keep talking about the government's bad. No, the hell it is. The hell it is. I don't worry about giving my grandchildren medicine when they need it. I don't worry about that. Why? The government. The FDA. And these lunatics, at a time when we've got the largest population we've ever known, wants to take a hatchet and a machete and an axe and a meat grinder and carve up the FDA's budget. No. We will find other ways to pay our bills. And that's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. Paying our bills. The debt ceiling was put in place, just a little Cliff's Notes on that. I really want you to go look at Politics Girl's video on this. But the debt ceiling was put in place because years and years and years ago, back in the old West days, it took months weeks and months for a lot of representatives to travel to Washington, D.C. And a lot of damage could be done that quickly, even though they didn't have modern technology, modern word processors and printers and whatnot. You could put some bills out pretty damn quick. So they had a debt ceiling in place that said you could only do so much damage. That's useless today, folks. That's useless. You can be in D.C. in hours from anywhere in this country. And the government will pay for your travel. You know, I mean, this bill, the entire concept of the debt ceiling is done. It is just a blackmail device that no one ever could have imagined it would be used this way. No one, when this device was invented, believed that there would be a political party that would blackmail our own country, that would assure the destruction and downfall of our own country by defaulting on our own debts. No one believed that that was possible, yet here we are with Republicans. Folks, vote the Republican Party out of existence, and this all goes away. All of this drama goes away. We will eliminate the debt ceiling, and we will sit down and we will negotiate bills. All the drama will go away. Another opposition party will spring up. You know, we Democrats are not authoritarians like the Republicans. When I say vote the Republican Party out of existence, I don't mean that I just want, a Democrat, or we will have just a Democrat authoritarian party. We will not. When the Republicans go away, another opposition party will spring up in its place. A healthy party, which is what we need as Democrats. We need a check on us. We know that. What do Republicans want? They want fascism. They want one-party rule. We are better than them. We are better than them. Vote the Republican Party out of existence, and this drama goes away. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. As old Texas Paul. Love you. Share this video. Help out Meidas if you can. Love you, folks.
Hey, Meidas Mighty. Love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.